course, after buying that food and setting it all out, you don't want it to go bad, and you don't want to make your guests sick for 4th of July, which is why we've got Josh Jordan with the Forsyth County Department of Public Health. We're talking about food safety, okay? Hey, Josh, with this, heat wave and stuff, a lot of people are still doing their picnics outside, their barbecues outside. What do we need to know about putting all that food out there?
Well, you're right. With extreme heat becomes, the food can spoil faster. And something just to think about, a good rule of thumb is the 4-hour rule, just making sure that once you prepare that food and put it out for service, that you try to use it up in them 4 hours. And if there's leftovers, really consider throwing those away rather than keeping them.
Is it still a 4-hour rule when it's 100 degrees outside? Because I don't know if I'm trusting that chicken salad and that deviled egg, I got to tell you.
Right. Yeah, I think I still would be safe for that rule. It just comes down to, are you trying to save any leftovers? If you're trying to save leftovers, you might want to speed that up, keep it to an hour sitting out and then try to cool it down to keep.
Okay, and so when we are putting out all of that food for like the picnic and stuff like that, and you're saying it can stay out for 4 hours, does that mean that we have to have like ice underneath it, that kind of stuff, or we can just like leave it out there for everybody to pick on?
Well, and most people like their food at more of a temperature control, so the ice would be helpful. But honestly, it should still be safe within the 4-hour range. But to be better and have better quality, I think the ice underneath would be helpful. I think more people would enjoy it that way.
Okay. There's a lot of home cooks that are watching right now. They're going to be grilling and barbecuing and doing all that kind of stuff. What is like a common mistake that people are making during the preparation or the cooking that could cause their guests to get sick?
I think a big thing is, when you're cooking raw meats like hamburgers, going by a color change rather than using a thermometer to check the temperature of the food. The rule of thumb is to try to get our hamburger to at least 155 degrees. And sometimes there can be a color change and not reach that temperature, and it could turn out to be unsafe food. So I would always promote using thermometers rather than just old wives' tales or old myths as far as just looking at color change or the firmness or the tenderness of food, that type of thing. But using a thermometer would really be helpful.
I know. I've heard several people say, well, I've been cooking this all my life. I don't need a meat thermometer. I'm like, you do need a meat thermometer. Yeah, for sure. I hear you. Okay. Hey, this time of year, we see people setting up like tents like all over the city and stuff like that. They're making whatever as people are driving from one place to another. Are the tents like food trucks? What's the difference? What do we need to know?
Yeah. So if we're out there on a fair, a festival, or some type of large event, and you have people set up their tents, if they've applied with the health department, we've looked at their setup. We've made sure that they have hand washing stations, that they have a way to dispose of wastewater, and they can hold that food at the right temperature. They should have a permit or some type of indication that they're permitted by the health department. They're a safe source. What we're finding a lot is people are setting up in different random spots around the county, the city, and setting up these mini restaurants under tents. And I just want to make sure people are cautious on those. Ask them if they have a permit, ask to see a grade card or an inspection report or something like that to show. And just pay attention, just be consumer savvy as far as, hey, I don't see a hand washing sink here. How are they washing their hands when they're handling this raw food before they're handling the ready to eat food? If you see people using their bare hands on food, that kind of thing. Food trucks, most of the time when people invest money in the food trucks, they're going to have a permit. You should be able to see that visible grade card. But just as a consumer, just educate yourself on what to look for, and that would to give you some more safe choices on food in this holiday time.
Yeah, I know we've got a lot of fairs and festivals and street fests and stuff like that. And when you go to a food truck, you do see that grade. For people out there who wonder, are they graded just the same way as restaurants, or do you, not grade them as hard? What do you say?
Yeah, food trucks are held to the same rules as restaurants. It's just a mini kitchen, but all the food temperatures are the same. How we handle food, the expectations to keep food at the same temperature, and the same safety concerns are upheld during those inspections.
All right. Well, Josh, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. We want everybody to eat well and not get sick over the 4th of July holiday. If you maybe need to send this to the person who's doing your cookout for your family, hey, you know what? This is going to be in the Two Wants to Know section of our website.